Daredevil Born Again. The Season 2 finale dropped yesterday, at the time of this recording. And I was actually working on another unrelated video, but decided to put that on hold because I need to get this off my chest. If you've seen this channel before, you know I'm a huge Daredevil fan. I've read most of his comics, including every single issue since 1998 to the current ongoing. I've seen the Netflix show at least twice through fully, and I even waste money on weirdly shaped Daredevil plastic. So, I figure I'm qualified enough to share my take on Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I know the title just says Born Again, but I'm mostly going to be talking about the second season. Fun fact, over a year ago when I first created this channel, months before I even uploaded my first video, I was working on a Born Again Season 1 video. I finished the script, I recorded all the audio lines, and I was in the editing process. But halfway through I realized what I had to say wasn't anything new. It wasn't breaking new ground, I was just rehashing things people had already said a million times, but with a New Zealand accent. Everyone with a brain knew Season 1 was dog shit. Even Charlie Cox knew that. So ultimately I scrapped it. Now, a year later, Season 2 has released. Now, it may just be a severe case of mass recency bias, but everywhere I go, I see praise for the second season. Now, before you skin me alive in the comments, I enjoyed quite a few parts about Season 2. It's an insanely drastic improvement over the stained wet wipe that was Season 1. But the bar was in hell. So let's dive into Season 2, my gripes with it, and what I loved about it. All my opinions, so I better not see anyone turn up to my house because of this video, especially over a Disney Plus show. I also want to state I am not a right-wing grifter. I know many of the complaints in the media getting attention right now is shit like this. Anyway, let's bring a positive tone to this next segment. What did I love about Born Again Season 2? Firstly, I loved the acting from Charlie and Vincent. They once again proved they're top-tier actors. It would be a shame if their rich and raw performances were hidden behind a horrible fisheye filter and weird cuts and or lens flare. I said I would be positive, but
I lied.
My biggest problem with Season 2 is the 8-episode format. In the old Netflix show, and yes, I know it's tiring hearing people say, actually, in the Netflix show, the thing is really good and Born Again is dog shit. But like, seriously here, let's talk about direction. The reason these intense scenes are so captivating and still remain topic of discussions nearly a decade later is because the show lets them breathe. This scene, the climax of Season 3, look what's happening. Notice there are no gimmicks, no fisheye lens, no ugly backlighting or fog machine. No Michael Bay lens flare, just raw, straight emotion. Now let's take a look how these supposedly intense scenes in Born Again play out. Incredible acting from Vincent here, but immediately I'm aware I'm watching a TV show. With Netflix, there was a magic. It was shot in a way you felt fully immersed. You felt like if you were standing there, that's what you would see. That's what made it beautiful. Like, wow, this show has a unique way it's shot and it's beautifully captivating. And yes, before the LARPers come for me, yes, cinematography heavily affects how the viewer feels and perceives each scene. Even if you don't realize or are aware, it's subconsciously how you take in each scene. With this scene, immediately you're aware you're watching a TV show. Weird fisheye filters and strange lighting immediately pull me out of any show. And if I was watching an old HBO show, I wouldn't honestly care. Like, yeah, this is sure a show I'm watching that looks like all the other shows ever, but come on, this is supposed to be Daredevil. Netflix Daredevil set the bar so high. Expecting for Disney of all companies to meet or even exceed that is clearly foolish, I know. I definitely didn't expect that it would reach those levels, and it didn't. Hence why, well, I'm complaining. They even prove they can recreate the magic of the old show when they film these flashbacks and give Matt a weird wig. Honestly, I like the wig a little, but it was very distracting because Charlie never had that hairline in the original show. Hell, Charlie hasn't had that hairline since he was 16. But this episode was really enjoyable for me. They really captured the Netflix magic far better than I thought they could, which made me even more annoyed. They prove they can recreate some of the old Netflix cinematography and deliberately choose not to. Son, brethren, individual, are we dead ass? Let's willingly make our show look worse. They claim it's because that's their vision. It's a new show, their show, and they want to be different. Okay, cool. I respect wanting to be different, more unique, but in this case, it annoys me because it isn't unique. Like I said before, every fucking modern show looks exactly like this. You used to be able to determine that a screenshot from the Netflix show was immediately Daredevil because of its unique and very well done videography. If you showed me two pictures, one was a screenshot of the supposedly uniquely shot Born Again and a shot from, I don't know, CeeLo or Severance, I couldn't tell you which was which. Well, honestly, I could probably work it out by asking myself which scene looks worse. And that'll be my answer. So let's discuss characters. I was at least hoping when the overall happened back in Season 1, the new creatives would be aware of what made the old show so special. And they said they did. They said what we wanted to hear. They brought back the characters we wanted to see and overcorrected on the complaints Season 1 got. What do I mean by overcorrecting, you may ask? Well, humble viewer, in Season 1, the side characters do nothing, stand around, and just piss you off. This season, they realized everyone was talking about how boring the new side characters were and overcorrected by making a new show. Side character is born again. You want Daredevil in your show? We'll throw him in sometimes, I guess. But let's keep our eye on Heather Glenn as she descends into madness. Okay. Well, I hope that it's worth it. It sure would be cool seeing Heather's descent into madness done well. And because of the 8-episode format, shelving the main character is a worthy trade to fit that in, right? You'd think so. Except, and yeah, we're starting with Heather, she doesn't do anything. They just make her mean. And she has obvious trauma, but instead of expanding on what they showed in the first couple episodes, the rest of the season she does nothing but strangle a freaky-ass British-shaped Wesley and continues to hallucinate Muse. There's no snowballing, no diving deeper into it. She just does that the whole season until the final minutes of the finale, where she puts on the Muse mask out of nowhere. Like, yes, we got that this was going to happen. You're meant to show us why a little better than that. Like, dude, she just kind of puts the mask on. I see the deeper meaning they tried to do, but it's just not as deep as they thought. Contrary to popular belief, I care more about natural character progression and raw character emotion breathing in a scene over hype and aura. I'm convinced Season 2 is just one big scene pack for TikTok editors. Here's a cool hype scene you Netflix enjoyers would have liked. Thanks, bro! I can't wait for you to skip past it immediately to show us the next hype moment you have planned. The new creatives are strangling their show to death. There's no downtime, no characters sharing emotional dialogue, no relationship building, no character explorations, or even much development. It's all go, 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 race you to the finale. I liked a lot of these moments. The acting is incredible and the aura and hype is cool, like, sure, but it means nothing if it's skipped over and we rush along to the next one. We just continue on that cycle until it's over. I do want to say, I really liked Daniel in this season. Him and Buck are like evil Matt and Foggy, but it was entertaining and almost funny at times watching their friendship grow. Well, it lost it. A character I wish I could like is Kirsten McDuffie. For those who don't know, she's one of the best Matt Murdock love interests in the comics, and is everything that comic Karen wishes she was. Well, or wished, I guess. In the show, I love her casting. It's perfect, and I really like the actress in Severance, as mentioned earlier. However, instead of improving her character like they did with the rest of the male side characters, they did nothing with her. When did she find out Matt was alive? I'll do you one better. When did she find out he was Daredevil? Was it in the scene Daredevil confronts her in her office? Was it after this, off-screen in the hideout? Was it off-screen when Matt decided to give everything away to save Karen from a life sentence? Or was it here in the courtroom when he reveals his identity to the public? I find that answer the funniest, as it would imply that Kirsten didn't bat an eye when he said that he was only late to court because he got shot in the leg. So, seriously, it must have been off-screen before he decided to reveal his identity to the world. Which is stupid as fuck. Why didn't we see her reaction? Why didn't we get to see their friendship react or take an impact because of it? She just magically shows up and says her dialogue, disappears. Huge, huge waste. In the first Born Again season, she was done miles better, and even there she was barely a character. I'm not even going to talk about BB and the BB report, we all know how we feel about it. All the women in this show are done so dirty. And I'm not out here pretending the original Netflix show was some super pro-feminist literature with expertly written woman, but even still, Karen in the original show was independent, rich with emotions and tons of character development. Born Again's Karen? She's Matt's girlfriend, and that's about it. She took out an armed guard CW style, and her relationship with Matthew, the only thing the show has her around to do, by the way, is boring. The relationship is boring. Where's the chemistry they used to have? Chemistry can only go so far with actors. If the character the actor is playing can be summed up by one sentence, perhaps the chemistry is restricted to being pretty basic. It's a shame. Deborah is a great actor. I'm not a huge fan of what she reposts online, but at least her character in the old show had presence. Karen and Foggy had such a magic that became the heart of the show. Taking Foggy out of the picture and reducing Karen to nothing but Matt's girlfriend was doomed to fail the show from the start. And before the born-again meat riders come after me, yes, I'm aware of the scene she had with Bullseye, acted out extremely well by Deborah, but it means nothing because after this she just goes back to the normal sidekick role. Also, this episode was the first time I saw Charlie slip up with his blindness, but I'm fairly certain that the scenes of him included in this episode were off takes that Charlie didn't think they'd include. To further back up my theory, let's go back to this scene early on in the show where they include a scene of Charlie just speaking his line in a British accent, probably just practicing his line, and they included it. It's immediately noticeable, and in my opinion, not at all Charlie's fault. I think this comes down to poor editing. Another example of poor direction and even worse editing is something Charlie himself complained about on the official Born Again podcast of the New Creatives. I'll play the clip for you now.
I do have one gripe.
All right.
The amount of hours I spent learning that discipline, I can't even remember the name of it now, but the discipline with the dummy, that did not make it into our show very much.
But it made it in a little bit.
A little bit. But relative to the amount of time I spent learning it, not enough. Also, hang on, I haven't finished. I haven't finished. I also have another gripe, as I think of it. I also seem to remember that I very bravely threw myself off a 20-foot scaffolding, headfirst, backwards.
Yes.
That is also not in the show.
So, let's unpack that. They had Charlie running around doing stunts and training his ass off for specific scenes they decided to just cut out.
But Comic Devil, this is a regular thing in all movie or TV show productions.
Yes, scenes get cut, obviously. But to me, I think it's a very poor direction to have an actor training his ass off for a stunt and for specific scenes and then decide to not include it. That's understandable Charlie was upset over that. It probably circles back to the episode length, or episode amount, whatever. The New Creatives get a good story, good moments, and mash it all into an 8-episode format as best they can. Imagine if you had to splice up Daredevil Season 1 of the Netflix show into 8 episodes. I guarantee you'd get something akin to the same pacing that Born Again has, which is written for 8 episodes, not 13 like the old show. So they either need to extend the episode amount, if for whatever reason they make a 4th season, or cut down the plot substantially. Make room for characters, make room for emotions. In Season 3 of Netflix Daredevil, we get an entire episode fleshing out Karen Page just because they wanted to. They do the same with Bullseye in the same season. These are some of my favorite episodes, but it's the reason the characters have so much weight in that show. But they couldn't get away with that in the 8-episode format. The 8-episode format of weekly television drops is the death of TV to me. It's disheartening, to be honest. Also, I am sick of Fisk. I know ruining the end of Season 3 was inevitable when they brought Kingpin back for Hawkeye, but they sealed the coffin when the New Creatives decided the old Netflix show was canon to Born Again officially. So, the best season of superhero television becomes meaningless because we skip forward a few years and not only is Fisk not rotting in prison, but he's the fucking mayor of New York. Ray Nadeem is rolling in his grave. I'm not going to talk about all the implications of canonizing Born Again and the Netflix show into the same universe as it's been done before. In fact, after this, if you want to see a bigger problems with Season 1 of Born Again specific video, just go watch this Yapathon or something. I think that guy is overly negative, and honestly, I'm not even sure he can find enjoyment in opening his eyes in the mornings, but there's many great criticisms about the Force Born Again season in that entertaining word soup of a video. Jokes aside, I enjoy watching that guy when I need a good laugh. Anyway, I'm done with negativity. I'm not like these guys. I have positive things to say, too. Like, I'm glad Vanessa got slimed out. And another thing, the costume. I think the costume looks good in Marvel Rivals. Okay, I think that looks pretty dog shit in the show. Dude, I can't help myself. Fuck. I'm trying my best to be positive here. And seriously, the all black with the logo finally was very awesome. It's his best on-screen costume so far. Well, I mean, that's not hard, but nonetheless, it's pretty cool seeing Daredevil finally look like Daredevil beyond just having horns. That's one thing Born Again does better than Netflix. Yes, I said it, Born Again has aspects that mog Netflix. Another example of this is Bullseye's trick shots. Obviously, Netflix had a limited budget, and many stunts were either practical mixed with editing, or just good sound work while shots ricochet off screen. But now they have a big Disney budget, they get to be more creative and expressive with these stunts. I love how Bullseye moves in Born Again. Bullseye is the coolest and scariest guy I've ever seen in my life. I pray to God in his next outing as Bullseye, Wilson Bethel gets to show off his jawline again. He has the perfect supervillain superhero jawline, and covering it with that fuck-ass ski mask is an insult to Dex heads everywhere. I also really like Fisk's appearance. Obviously in the Netflix show, they didn't have money for quality fat suits, so Vincent really did get fat for the role. They had Kingpin confined to a more realistic frame and build than other adaptations. Spider-Verse. In Born Again, they embraced the more comic book side while still keeping things relatively grounded. With the Disney money, they got Vincent a fat suit and other prosthetics. And with that, added extra size and mass to Kingpin's appearance. I think he looks a lot more intimidating in Born Again than the old show. Now, notice I said looks intimidating. He is, but Netflix Fisk felt like the fucking boogeyman. He would literally appear in your house and wait there for hours in the dark, waiting for the perfect moment to start a monologue before crushing you to death. In Born Again, he still has a bit of that, but he doesn't make my heart pound when he appears on screen. I went back with my girlfriend to show her the first season of Netflix Daredevil recently, and even though I'd seen it before, some of those Fisk scenes still had my heart rate increasing and I still felt his seething aura. In Born Again, Vincent acts his heart out, but the writing doesn't do him any justice and he kind of just does evil because it's evil. Yeah, it's in character, but it's not very deep. Now, they bring back Jessica Jones. And this kind of follows up on what I was saying about the female characters in this show. She does nothing. I love Jessica Jones. That show was so good it rivaled Netflix Daredevil in quality. So yeah, I'm happy to see her back. She did nothing but stand around an aura farm, which yeah, was cool, but I really wish they gave her something to do. Look, it's a fan favorite character. Eat up the slop. Yeah. It's just No Way Home syndrome. Watch our movie to see a returning character. Will they do anything? Of course. They have 5 minutes of screen time dedicated to fan service and references. Anyway, Mr. Charles is a new character, and that's literally all I have to say. I'm so confused who he is meant to be. What does he even do? Why is he recruiting Bullseye? I guess he's going to play a bigger part in a Dark Avengers adaptation, like the comics, where Bullseye becomes Hawkeye in an evil Avengers team. I hope that's the case and not a new Avengers setup. I swear to God, if they put Bullseye in a permanent anti-hero role, I will lose my mind. Let the serial killer, psychopath, be a villain. Also, they shoehorn in a simple Cole North redemption. I think it's fine. They sprinkle in some hints throughout Season 2 that he's not fully on board with Powell anymore, but then he just decides to fully switch sides in the finale. I don't think it's bad, I just think it's stupid and simple. Don't forget, this guy blew Hector Ayala's brains out and was super evil last season, in every scene he was included in. Anyway, the last thing I want to talk about before wrapping up this video is the huge blind elephant in the room. Matt gave his secret identity up.
I am Daredevil.
And I have to say, the scene was great. The line delivery was so well done from Charlie, and it's far more impactful than I Am Iron Man. I just wish we got at least half an episode of seeing what that means for him before he's arrested. So many characters find out this blind guy is Daredevil and say nothing. They see him throw a stick off a wall and go, damn, I guess he's telling the truth. Time to lock him up. Do they think he's faking being blind? Do they question how he can do this because he's blind? We don't get any of it. His ex-girlfriend Heather, who, mind you, both told each other they loved one another last season, doesn't care. She just shakes her head and forgets about it. Like, my brother in Christ, your ex is Daredevil. Daredevil gave you back shots. The scenes you shared with Daredevil last season, does she go, damn, that was my boyfriend the whole time? No. There's no reaction from Brett Mahoney either, who I'm guessing found out off screen between Season 3 and Season 4. Well, Season 1 of Born Again, I mean. I guess Season 4 still makes sense, but I don't know, it feels wrong to say it. Oh, I almost forgot. All the cast and early test screeners kept saying the finale has a moment that tops the Season 3 finale. Are you sure? Son, I like the concept here. I like the thought process. Its execution falls a little flat for me. It's still okay, but I mean, Fisk killed like 30 people in the last 5 minutes, and he still gets to take the deal. Even if that could be written off as self-defense or even excluded, Matt isn't mad at all. He's just tired, like, hey old friend, it's over now. He got more mad at Frank for shooting anti-vigilante task force officers than he was at Fisk for murdering 30 civilians. I get the point of exiling him to prevent this all from happening again. I just wish it was better directed. Vincent and Charlie give their all despite this, and I'm fully convinced these creatives aren't doing them justice at all. And then it ends with Matt being arrested and going to prison. The ending shot is pretty cool, I like that a lot, but nonetheless, my thoughts on the show are that It starts off super promising, and I got my hopes up. But it stayed the same until the finale. 7 episodes of setup that follow a slow, linear line into one big jump conclusion. At the end, it's okay, it's safe, it's just I wish Daredevil was better than just okay. Multi-billion-dollar company can't figure out how to make a competent show about a blind lawyer who dresses like a devil and beats up mob bosses at night. But Netflix, with a budget of $20 and the power of friendship, could do it a decade ago. It's vastly better than season 1, but we really need more episodes if they want to cram these big plot lines into one season. So let's quickly rank the Daredevil seasons, including Born Again. 3, gotta go there. 1, gotta go there. And this is where a lot of people actually say Born Again Season 2 belongs over the original Season 2. And to anyone who thinks that, I respect your opinion, but it's fucking wrong, dude. Season 2 of the OG show goes right there. No one's telling me otherwise. And then, here, you know what? I'll put Born Again Season 2. And they're all the way down here if we just keep on going. Keep going down. Okay, right here, we'll put Born Again Season 1. So, yeah, you can see there's a drastic improvement between these two, but is it good enough? Also, final thing. I loved Bullseye this season, and I'm actually really excited to see what happens with him in the future of the MCU. Anyway, I've yapped for too long. Thanks for watching. Check out these other videos if you want, and please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.